All right. Well, that was an absolute beatdown by the Lions. I love that game. I could not wait to get on here and give you my opinions, guys, because for those of you who didn't bother to catch my pregame experience, and that was exactly what we said. That's and then literally, I'm no savant. That's exactly what every Lions fan thought would happen. That's exactly what they wanted to happen, and they executed. It was at home. It was in front of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and millions and millions and millions and millions of fans. And I'm sure a couple Bears fans joined, but that was whole Lions, man. I couldn't say better things about that game. It started out exactly like we talked about too, right? Lions score, then you get the scripted Ben Johnson Chicago Bears response, which is fine. Things start to settle down after that. And then really things start turning, I feel like, when Brad or Brian Branch had that turnover where he pops that ball out and we take the ball back. And I know it wasn't I don't think we got points out of that one, but that just set the tone right there. And from there on out, we showed we were the better, the bigger, and smarter, and more disciplined team, the better coach team. Everything stood out. Everything that we've been saying stood out. We'll take a look at the stat sheet in a minute. To everybody got a touchdown. And I think everybody got a touchdown. Everybody got a sack. Everybody gets a hamburger. Everybody wins a car. It was just so cool. Great game. I'm happy to come on here with some fun excitement. I just got an announcement that we are live on Twitch. Hey, you're right. We are live on Twitch. Speaking of that, anyone knows how to keep these things going on Twitch where I can actually, the lives don't just disappear? I'm still learning Twitch. I doubt anybody's even on it listening. But it looks pretty cool. Looks like if you play a lot of video games, that's where you'd want to be. But we are live on Twitch. So I do have that chat open. I've got the YouTube chat open. I'm hoping a lot of my friends want to come in and join the live and put some comments in the chat. This is going to be a very, very fun week in sports. Michigan won. Unfortunately, they had to be sacrificed by Michigan. By CMU had to be was the sacrificial lamb. Sorry, I'm so excited. Look at that, Locked On Lions post-game show. Everybody, don't do that. Don't go to the Locked On Lions post-game show. You got to come over to the Fan Forum post-game show. We're slowly starting to become something interesting. Post-game show. Let's get this link shareable. Dan from the Shores, put your shit in the comments. Can't wait. Big Dan just texted me, and he's saying it. He's loving it. Everyone's loving it right now. Thanks. I got so many texts during the game, too, about how successful this team looked. That had to feel good as a Lions fan, too. Especially if you're not a bandwagon fan and you've been sticking around by them for all those years. It's been a long time coming where we can say, you know what? That's just week one. Don't worry. Relax. We'll go out there and blow them up at home, and we do it. The confidence is really nice. The execution was flawless, too. I don't know. I'm so excited. I don't know if we can start looking at stats yet. Got to get some people up into this chat. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, Mambo number 5. All right, let's go over some of these. Let's go over the stat line for this game. let's just kind of see what's happening around the league, right? Um, I want to take a moment out to remind everybody too to like and subscribe. If you haven't done so, please do so now. Okay, so as you know, Lion just took a belt to their rear end, as my kid likes to say, 52-21. This was Dan Campbell versus Ben Johnson. Our offensive coordinator leaves for Chicago, moves on to bigger, better things. Week one, I'll set in the narrative for you right now, even though you already know it. Week one comes around, our offense is flat. We got nothing. The Lions are washed up. They're nothing without Ben Johnson. Okay, let's get the game going. So, from a Lions perspective, Jared Goff was absolutely phenomenal. He's 23 for 28, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks, 156 rating, QBR rating. As you can see here, it's GOAT status. This is where it just gets better, though, right? So Gibbs and Montgomery. Gibbs got actually the bulk of the carries, what it seemed like at first. But from the stat sheet, it shows it's a 50-50 split. 12 attempts for Gibbs and 11 for Montgomery. 94 yards, you saw some big bursts for Gibbs, and then 57 for Montgomery. Still, I want to see more of Montgomery, but look at this. 7.8 yards per carry and 5.2 yards per carry. That's exactly what you want to see out of these two guys on a winning stat line. That just shows they were used properly. They both had touchdowns. Here's that 42-yard long run that we talked about for Gibbs. They got him that 94. But an awesome day for our running backs. And then you've got the receiving core. Oh, my God. I put in here it's a Waymo show, but technically, from a touchdown standpoint, it was the St. Brown show. He had 4 touchdowns total. One of them was a running touchdown, and 3 of them were receiving. The St. Brown to Goff relationship is such an awesome one to see. You know, the league gets so hard on Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase and how badass they are, but really, dude, the unspoken or the very limitedly spoken about are the Jared Goff and the St. Brown. I'm telling you right now, that's where it's at, dude. These guys were just a pleasure to watch. Had so much fun watching them just kind of silence everybody. So that's not even the best part. Not only did St. Brown have 4 touchdowns, but Jamo had a hell of the game with some big monster catches. He had his longest was a 64-yarder. That was actually his first catch of the game. Was a 64-yard, and he finishes with 108 yards and 1 touchdown. But his presence is clearly being shown right there. That not only is he just a weapon, but he is starting to just become this. I don't want to say he doesn't have the full on Megatron, but he's going to have that big body. He's starting to get bigger. He's starting to have more of a Megatron feel on the field where you just have to kind of do things to quiet him up, right? You can't ignore him and just shut St. Brown down. And that's what you're seeing with Jamo. I just take that to, I mean, he's always been super fast, but he's just bigger now. He's stronger and he can stand out more. Then Tesla, man, dude, all this guy does, and it's literally all he's done is have mega catches. You have him coming out with an Odell Beckham type mega sweet catch that I can bring up shortly. But holy crap, dude! What a great day from Tesla. He comes in at the right moment, at the right time, with a few seconds left on the clock, extends the play, keeps it alive for a touchdown. Thought they'd give him the touchdown, but it obviously went to St. Brown. And then you've got Brock Wright. I think our tight ends played really nice. 28 and 26 yards a piece from our tight ends. Didn't really have to feature them as much as I thought you would. I thought you'd see some Sam Laporta touchdowns, but at this point when it's 52-21, as long as they get a little bit involved, I'm not chopping it up any which way. So big day from the offense. I don't think you can say better things about our offense. Not really much to nitpick. Now, on the defensive side, too, Really good game. There's a lot of things you can still pick apart on this defense. The things that I want to see them do that I think that'll take them to that next level that we know they can be. But great start to the season, though, right? Jack Campbell made his presence known. Brian Branch made his presence known. He had a sack. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, right? All these guys were on the field all day. Terry and Arnold, you should have had an INT, but Brian Branch, what the hell are you doing coming down on Caleb Williams like that? Where I talk about being that elite defenses don't do that type of shit. Stat line, you know who I'm really excited about is Muhammad. Last year he started to really show up on the stat sheet with the sacks. This year, no different, right? So we saw him light the board up. We saw our boy Hutchinson get a sack. He was all over the field. I mean, they were doing everything they could to keep him away from Caleb Williams. Davenport had a sack. Didn't really get far into his injury, but oh my God, the second he falls and has a sack, and bruises his elbow, he's laying down. So what in God's name is going on with Davenport? Game 1 again. Well, game 2. Tyleek Williams, you can't put, they don't have a stat for tipped passes, but I don't know, I saw 2 for sure. He's doing everything we brought him in to be. Not much of a guy on the stat sheet, but if you're watching, he's disruptive as shit. So, all right, so we got someone coming into the chat. Oh, look, it's Jer Bear. What a difference a week makes for Detroit sports teams winning. Yes. And the Charlie Sheen documentary did just come out, too, on Netflix. I don't even want to start talking about that, but God damn it, Uncle Jerry, you're right. What a difference it makes. They won the stat sheet, too. Look at this. I really like this. 3 penalties to their 8 penalties. There's your home field advantage. There's your coaching. I like to see us winning that stuff, too, right? We didn't just blow them out. We did all the other things, too. Now let's see how we looked Caleb Williams make. Let's take a look at his stats. Stat sheet for this sweetheart of Chicago. He was 19 of 30, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, which is completely his fault to try to extend the play, and Kirby Joseph did what he always does best and play center field. He was rated at a 91.9. He still looks, I mean, he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he didn't finish the game. So, and he got beat down. DeAndre Swift, 63 yards and a touchdown. Like I was telling my son Jason, he always looks good in meaningless games, and then when you need him for something, he's hurt. So, he looked like he's the main focal point of their rushing attack, and he has those little bursts he had from Georgia, but again, he's going to get hurt. Adunze, 128 meaningless yards. He looked, on the stat sheet, it looks actually pretty good in 2 touchdowns, but he dropped so many passes too. And they looked really off considering you've got this 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore, I think he looked to be a little bit better at first, and that was their main focal point. Scary, 46 yards. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, we smoked them. What up, dog? You on live? Uncle Jerry's watching. All right, we got Weasel. Weasel says, what up? What up, bro? You want to say hi to America?
We gave belt to ass to Chicago.
Here, you got to speak in the microphone, dude.
Gave belt to ass to Chicago, and Green Bay sucks.
There we go. He said it. Not you. Not me. He said it. What are you drinking, Gatorade? Oh, you're going to shoot hoops. He's going to shoot hoops across the street with his buddies. How American is that? Watches the Lions win. He's got some Gatorades. He's going across the street for basketball. All right, well, that was the Weasel, by the way. You got to follow his new podcast that's yet to come out. So, listen, I don't need to go through the stat line on the Green Bay or on the Bears. We already know that we whooped the shit out of them, and that just felt good. It did. It felt great. No matter how you want to look at it, it felt complete. It felt whole. It felt like what you saw last week we never have to think about or worry about. It was what they said it is. Like, relax. We've moved on. I didn't see anybody that noticeably pissed me off and stuck out like a sore thumb and said to myself, "Oh shit, this guy can't. He's got to cut this out." Didn't see that. Put it in the comments. Is there any player that really you think, even though it was 52-21, stuck out and pissed you off? I don't know. To me, I thought, okay, don't even say Brian Branch for that little jump cut. I don't want to hear that because all the other good things he did. So think about it this way. It's got to be a player that pissed you off so bad that however good they did, it didn't compensate for how bad it. There was no offset. I'm going to make this real difficult. You're going to have to find somebody who really stood out and you said, you know what? No, like they're just absolute trash. I cannot believe it. I don't think you're going to find that on this one. I really don't. I think this was just such a well-played team game. Do we have ice cream? Now maybe we'll get the dog on the podcast too. We got Alicia on here. She's down here grabbing ice cream. I'm live. Oh. That's why I had Jason on. He was nice enough to say hi. You can't be seen. Don't worry. Yeah. It's okay. So around the league, we're going to load this chat up. Around the league, too, I cannot believe this right now. You literally have Dallas and New York in overtime, 37-37. This is absolutely phenomenal. I talked about this in the pregame, but this is a game that Dallas should have did exactly what we just did to the Bears. As Jason said, bell to ass. But now you're looking at a game where Russell Wilson has 3 touchdowns and has 454 yards and looks like Russell of old days. Dak's throwing up 2 touchdowns in that interception, which just right there shows me I think Dallas loses this game. I think Dallas loses this game. This is the one. I'm telling you. This is hilarious. So we'll back out of this one. Let's see who else. Still can't believe, thought Joe Burrow, or I'm sorry, I thought Jacksonville would have ended clearing this one out. Not going to lie, they had it, and then right towards the end, seems to be like they gave it away, even though Joe Burrow was only in this game for a very short time before he got hit out injured. Dude, Bengals are a weird franchise. I'm kind of glad I'm not part of that team and that franchise because they're wasting good talent at a good time right now. Even though they won, and they're 2-0, something doesn't seem right about that franchise. Told you, Chargers were going to win because they're the Chargers. New England beat Miami. There's the battle of 2 shitty teams, and the one shitty team beat the other shitty team. Okay, cool. So you've got Baltimore did the same thing. Okay, here's the matchup that I'm talking about. Baltimore, Cleveland. Now, this is a funny story here. You want me to tell you a funny story? So, Baltimore calls up Shedeur Sanders and says, listen, later on in the draft, if you're not drafted, we plan on taking you, right? You're going to just have to sit behind Lamar Jackson. Modern day, one of the best quarterbacks out there. And really, you're getting a chance to play for Baltimore, a franchise that is one of the best. He says, no thanks, don't draft me because I'm not playing behind him. I want to go to a team where I can start. So he has to go to the Browns. So how's that working out? 41-17. He got his chance to watch Joe Flacco and what is that name? Dylan Gabriel? Yeah, Dylan Gabriel. That's what I thought. Dylan Gabriel get beat down by Lamar Jackson's 4 touchdowns. Um, just really sheds light on, you know, going to the better organization, right? The long play versus the short gains. Not playing off for him right now. San Francisco beats New Orleans. Now, this is one where we talked Brock Purdy. He's not in it right now. He gets injured. He's not playing. Mac Jones comes in. I said Mac Jones is going to have a respectful game. He did. 3 TDs. Beat Spencer Rattler and the Saints. Just not a Rattler kind of fella. Now, I know I saw somebody pop in. Doc. Okay, Doc's here now. Seems like y'all did well. Okay, y'all. You're from Michigan, brother? Sorry, the dude better get on here. I gotta beat on to somebody. Um, we did better than well. We did exactly how we should have done. We did great. Um, yeah, see that 52-21 up there, and that last 7 points was a meaningless touchdown too, to let the clock keep going and not honestly get hurt. So, did fantastic. I know you're a Bucks fan. Your Bucks play tomorrow night. Um, I really need your Falcons to win, though. So sorry, buddy. That might mess up your conference, but I need the Falcons to beat Minnesota. And, oh, look at that. Seattle beat Pittsburgh. We talked about that, too. We don't want Russell Wilson or, God, I can't keep up with all these old quarterbacks. We didn't want Aaron Rodgers to have a 2-0 start. That would be such for an annoying media day. Ugh. What did he finish with? 18 of 33, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Holy shit, he looked like shit. He got sacked 3 times, and it looks like at the very end he got taken out. Mason Rudolph 2 for 2. Perfect. That's the Aaron Rodgers I think we expected. Franco, ha ha ha. Sam Darnold. Very Darnold-esque game. He Darnold up 2 touchdowns, and he had 2 interceptions. Okay. Why did we take out Aaron Rodgers? Anyone know? Did he die or something? Something happened to Aaron Rodgers? Why did Mason Rudolph get 2 for 2? Oh, well. So we got 56 seconds left in overtime for New York and Dallas. The doc says he's got to work on his shift his slang for when he retires in Tampa. Oh, dude, you got a long time before you retire in Tampa, unless you're up to something I don't know anything about. You have probably another 30 years, but I respect it. Oh my God. All right. I don't know if anyone's watching this game. I don't know. 37-37. It looks like we have 4 seconds left in overtime. I keep forgetting how all these overtime rules work when it comes to it. Like it looks like it's a timeout by New York. But somebody's got to, in the chat, be watching this game. I can only imagine how pissed off Jerry Jones is going to be if he starts out 0-2. Because the chance of winning or even making the playoffs, I think if you're 0-2 is like 12%. It just doesn't happen. So if you start out the season 0-2, it's not good, brother. It's not good. Look at this. Now, this is a sign of a good economy. Jerry says, sorry, brother, I'm working at Chap today. Good. Work at Chap. Make my truck. Guys should be working on it right now. Well, you're not making it, but make sure they have parts. Either way. And don't pretend like you're not watching football while you're working. Come on now. Either way, Okay, 40 to 37. Look at that. Dallas wins. They fight off their urge to make Russell Wilson look like a champion. Dallas fights it off with a field goal kick. So a 46-yard field goal kick by Aubrey is good. Jerry Jones can go back and take his adrenochrome shot and smile, not have to worry about anything. That's excellent. So you got that. So that'll be an interesting storyline. They're going to jam down our throat. Russell Westbrook has a respectful, big storybook game. Still loses, but puts up a bunch of stats, and they'll pump that up really good. Um, Denver Indy looks like it's starting off to be really good. Denver comes out scoring with 7, and Dallas or Indy's already got 6. We talked a little bit about this too in the pregame. Not a big Danny Dimes fan, or a Bo Nix fan, but I think this is going to be a really good game to watch. I think both these teams are on the up and up, especially Denver looks to be a fun. I'm a big Sean Payton fan. I liked what he did at New Orleans. But yeah, I don't know. Any instant reactions? To me personally, I thought for anybody that didn't catch my first 10-minute spiel, that was exactly what we needed them to do. I mean, the headlines are going to be out there. Everybody had a storybook game. The coolest time I think we had. Told my wife it's a lot easier watching these games when they blow these when they blow these teams out. Um, I'll never ever get sick of watching these blowouts. All those years as a Lions fan, we could go over every single touchdown, but I'll spare you it. I wanted to see, did the Lions fans boo Ben Johnson? And yes, they did. They booed the shit out of him. Rightfully so, though, too. And I thought it was interesting because he came out swinging for the fences like I thought he would. Then he comes out and he says, I'm going to go for it on 4th down and doesn't convert. I'm sorry, dude. If you're going to go try to play Dan Campbell's game in Dan Campbell's house as Dan Campbell's former coach, that's over for you right there. You can't be that ballsy, like you can't be that disrespectful. But you were, and that's what you got out of it. So, oh well. They had I would say, a somewhat respectable opportunity in the first half with that game. But after he did that, it was over. Sorry, I thought I had that Ben Johnson getting booed thing pulled up, and as soon as I get right over to here, nothing happens. Um, all right, the doctor comes on here and starts talking some shit. You finally get to be the team who's doing the blowing out. Oh, I didn't see the part that's out. Yeah, we do. We did it to your team yet. Doesn't mean it's like our first time. Um, Cliff Levati says, fuck Ben Johnson, just like my shitty brother, Michael. That's true. Michael was on. He's shitty. Cliff is the supreme Levati. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Cliff Levati. Cliff Levati's been haunting me for years. All right. I have this clip right here of Ben Johnson booing. I want to watch it. God damn it. Yeah. I mean, next year, someone might literally just throw a bag of shit at him. Even he looked pretty nervous to be in there. Let's see that again. I'll tell you what. Um, Was there any Detroit Lions fan though that was out there before this game nervous that Ben Johnson was actually gonna show up? Dan Campbell, and that's what makes me. And I'm gonna be not the first one to say this, but I'm gonna be bold because we just won. Um, does this guy look like another offensive coordinator that played for another really good, successful head coach that when he left couldn't find success and had to come back twice? Is this a Josh McDaniel situation, right? Is this going to be where Ben Johnson leaves for the Bears, has 1 year with them, comes in with high expectations, and you know this franchise has no patience with head coaches. They have patience for the shitty general manager for some reason, but not to say that Eberflus deserve more time, but they don't ever do right by their head coach, whatever the situation is. More time, less time, they always screw the situation up. So I feel like the Bears are real close to pulling a Bears move and doing something real Bears like and burning their bridge with Ben Johnson before this season's over. Maybe that's just a hot take right now because we beat them 52-21. But I don't know. Anybody think I'm wrong? Oh, nice. We got Dan the Man on here. All right. So Big Dan, he's been coming in with some heavy duty questions. He's in his man cave watching his fantasy league kick ass again. So he's having a good league in fantasy. That's awesome. Doctor says, I'll save my big shit talking for when we take you out at home again. Okay, that's right. You got to come on here sooner than later, dude. This whole Bucks bullshit. We need to get this over with. To me, uh, okay, we'll see how you play. Well, let's finish week 2 over before I start talking shit to your Bucks. You're right, and I have a lot of respect for Mr. Baker. Um, Dan starts believing when we're in the playoffs and not as a wild card. Man, I'll tell you what, Dan, that's true, but as long as we're healthy, let's just say this: we're in the playoffs and we're healthy. That's all that matters. He also says Ben Who didn't need him, never did. Starting to look like that. I mean, really. And that's what you see with a lot of these coordinators. They're coordinating a playbook and a script that their head coach put in front of them. Their head coach is an offensive guy like Dan is. You're pretty much seeing what did we see out there today? Did you see a boring, a bland offense? Dude, we saw the Lions offense. That's what we saw. The only thing you didn't see was, and let's not pretend Ben Johnson every game had some magical trick play every single game. He had a few that really kind of made him stand out, but he was a successful offensive coordinator under a successful offensive coach. And like I said, the players have to execute. So, he can call these same plays in Chicago. He does not have the same group of players. He does not have the same culture, the same staff, the same environment that he's building in, and what he's trying to do is create that in Green Bay or create that in Chicago, which you're not going to, because he doesn't have the relationship with his GM. They didn't start this thing hand in hand like they did here in Detroit. So think about that. Suck on that, Bears fans. Very annoying fan base. I loved watching all of them cry too. I really don't. That's the one team in our division I just can't stand their fan base. Their team's so overrated, and so is their fan base. I can respect the hell out of the Green Bay Packers fans. I can respect the hell out of Minnesota Vikings fans, but Chicago Bears fans, dude, they're next level. They're like Halloween spirit stores, right? They're irrelevant. Used real estate, discounted plastic. What are they? They're turning into Family Dollar too. Jesus Christ, they're the dollar store team of the football. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right, Cliff Lavati. He's got some comments kick it back to the comments. Tar and feathered Ben, just like my loose asshole brother. You guessed it, fucking Michael. Oh man, that's right. Um, Mahomes, Cook, Pole, and Barbers and Lamb. Yeah, dude. So here's what I want to see. You got a hell of a team, dude. Makes me kind of regret not playing fantasy this year. My son Jason's got a hell of a fantasy team too. But then I see you guys with these big names and realize that, dude, your roster, Dan, at like week 12 in fantasy is going to look different than what you got now. So, but hope you're playing the long term game. I know this isn't your first year playing fantasy. Tell your brothers I said hello, by the way, as well. God, speaking of Bears fan, where is the dude? I can't believe he's not on here right now. Trying to climb into the chat. Oh, probably because there's something positive to talk about. No, I mean, honestly, dude, this is why it's funny, because this is a live instant reaction show. You're just keeping it real and you're checking me, and that's what you need to do, because I'm over here screaming like a little, happy schoolgirl. Probably because there was so much shit talking I did outside of this before, but Hermdo and I got on here, and he texted me because he's working right now, and he said a lot of people are gonna sound stupid after this game, because there were a lot of people talking a lot of shit, panicking. So to all those panicking bandwagon fans, Chris, you're one of them. You immediately week one in the comment section gave up. I haven't even trolled you back yet, but you know it's coming. It's coming. Here, let's pull this up. I'm going to pull this comment up. Call you out on it. Where is Mike Lavati? We've got Cliff Lavati, the infamous brother, the roofer, the extraordinaire. But where is Mike Lavati? What in God's name is I just going to pull up? Oh, yeah. We're calling out some Lions fans. I swear I'm going to start having a couple of these set up better than me just running down here and pressing a button, but you'll have to be patient with me. I didn't expect a lot of people. Thank you guys for hopping in and talking some shit. That's my favorite thing to do. Oh, okay. Where are you at? Where's this comment at? Oh, God, he deleted it. Even worse. I can't even find your comment where you're shit talking the Lions. You deleted it. Stick to your basics. All right, so I asked where the dude was at. So this is two part of this podcast. I've been waiting for this guy to come on here and talk some shit. And he says he's changing a taillight on a Durango. Apparently it takes 2 hours. All right, so I know this isn't a podcast about cars, but what about that takes 2 hours? There's like 3 little bolts that you unscrew, and you pop the damn thing out. And I'll tell you what, if you want, you just kind of want to stand on the side and pop it like that, and it'll pop right out. Definitely not a 2-hour job. Must be in a union shop. Oh, look who's on here. Still reserving my opinion until after the bye week, hoping for a good game against the Ravens. Okay, so do you want to say you're a Lions fan? Do you want to say it on here? Or do you want to publicly announce that you're a Bears fan? You have only 2 options. You can't keep saying you're hoping for after the bye week. That doesn't work like that. Because as a fan, first of all, the bye week could be at any point in time. You can't just say that. So you either say, I'm really excited about that game. They looked every bit of what I think they should look like, and they're a good team. Or wait till after the bye week. What's going to change? What the fuck's going to change? Who does all of this on a Sunday? On a football Sunday with a 1 o'clock game? Oil change, tail light fixed, eats dinner. The kid thing I can understand. Jesus. But Pickett, are you a Lions fan or not? That's the bigger question. Or are you a Bears fan? Says he's never denied being a Lions fan. Yes, you have. You want to know by the way that you talk trash about them. You can't constantly, you know, uh, dog on the hot girl because you're nervous she's never going to ask you out. Dude, buy into the team or I will call you a Bears fan. See, this is what I'm talking about. Jer Bear says win, lose, or draw, go Lions. No doubt, not waiting till after the bye week, not waiting till this, not waiting till the weather changes, not waiting till I talk to my therapist, which is in 2 weeks. You commit to the team. He said Doc is like a female. He only hears what he wants. Dude, I am not Kool-Aid drinking. If there's anyone who does not Kool-Aid drink, it is me. We have been nothing but critical of them throughout the years. That's what this whole podcast is about. Is we started out all as slappies because we were kids. And then Hitch and I both talked about how we had that one year where we said never again. I'm never emotionally buying into this. And now all this is therapy. This is so you don't drink the Kool-Aid. This is see, I got my man Dan on here already checking me saying, hey, calm down, celebrate the game, but move on. He's right. I was just excited. You know, this is why you still think shows like The Big Bang are funny, right? Because you don't see outside the bigger picture, right? It's if it's not like Hollywood Disney textbook, you can't buy into it, man. I'm just saying. And The Big Bang Show is literally the worst TV show I've ever watched in my life. Michael's with Hitch at Baskin Robbins. Cliff, you're probably right. Michael does tend to go to Baskin Robbins with Hitch. I do enjoy that, actually. I can't be the only one that thinks The Big Bang Show is terrible. Come on, please. And that I'm not even gonna ask to tell you where it came from, but it's absolutely an awful show. All right, so Hitch and Levati are at Baskin Robbins. Ben Johnson receives boos from Lions fans during. Oh, this is just the perfect weekend. It really is when it comes to sports. I would have liked to see the Cowboys lose. I really would have. It would have been kind of fun, but they'll have their moment in the sun of screwing up. The KC Philly game is an interesting one because this is make or break for KC. I don't see them as a team that is going to start out 0-2 and have a chance of missing the playoffs. But dude, right now they're down 7-3, second half, 11:42 left, but not a team you can ever cancel out. I don't think you can ever say that KC's on their way down unless Patrick Mahomes is off that team and Andy Reid is retired. But when you look at the stats early on, Patty's 2 for 6 with 1 sack. Not bad. They're just starting out quiet, which is okay. We know how they are. They're not a team that always does that, but they're a team that always seems to find a way to win. So I kind of want Kansas City to win this game. I really do. I don't want the Philadelphia Eagles to start out 2-0. That would pretty much piss me off a little bit. Let's see. What does Cliff have to say? Cliff's full of them today. My brother's drinking pickle juice with Hitch and Eric Ebron at an abandoned Rally's drive-thru. Yes, Cliff, I believe that's accurate. Oh, Jerry loves The Big Bang. Jerry, I'm telling you, it's a terrible show. It's a great concept. Yes, it's a great concept. But you could not tell me you believe Johnny Galecki's smart. He plays a good David on Roseanne. I'll give you that. Honestly, that's it. He should have just stayed right there. In my eyes, that's a perfect show. David and Johnny Galecki, best character ever. Didn't even realize he was the kid from the original National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because all I knew him as is David from Roseanne. Yeah, I got to go with Cliff on this one. Cliff says Jerry's wrong. Cliff's a big Galecki fan like me. He thinks Galecki was disrespected in that show. But it just, to me, represents a time where TV shows were starting to get really soft in their writing. And I'm a big sitcom guy, or was at least. Just hard to touch any 90s sitcom. And Roseanne is probably top 5. No, top 5 best sitcoms, in my opinion. Yeah, top 5. That's going to piss Hitch off. It's okay, though. He doesn't watch. I don't think he likes the fact that they moved Becky's around. He was a big fan of the original Becky. Nothing more, nothing less. UCLA fires their head coach. I believe this is a former player, Deshaun Foster, running back with the Cleveland or Carolina Panthers. Another guy out. Any observations from that game that you guys saw that I didn't see? Put it in the comments, put it in the chats. Also, too, I want you to make sure that every third neighbor that you live next to subscribes to this podcast. I will be checking, especially you, Bob. I love this headline. It took one drive for the Lions to empathetically stick it to Ben Johnson. I'm really looking forward to these headlines. I think there are going to be some creative headlines. Detroit finally benefits from 10-second runoff rule. This was a game too where the refs finally didn't hate us. Okay, I made a shirt, and I may have to take it down on the fan forum fourth wall, but it specifically called out how much love we don't get, and guys, we got some love. Speaking of love, let's watch this pass from St. Brown. This is his third touchdown, right? Because mind you, he had four touchdowns in this game. He just couldn't be stopped, and it's actually pretty impressive to see his relationship with Goff, and just see exactly how well and how fluid they are. See, and like the announcer said, too easy. At this point, you would have thought they had a way to shut him down. You would have thought they would have figured this out by now. But no matter what they did, Goff and St. Brown found a way to get it done. And then you have him jumping into the, what we have, the Lions leap zone or whatever goofy name this game. Yeah, leap zone. Look at this. Now, the best part is when Goff tries to get into the leap zone. Didn't work out so well for Goff. He's not as athletic, but got to give the guy a shot. So, pretty exciting, man. 3 touchdowns. There are 3 by air, one by land. Then we got another touchdown here. These things were just works of beauty too. You want to talk about timing? Do you want to talk about the communication issues being fixed? You had to love the whole hurt. The communication issues clearly are not a problem for this Lions team. You look at this touchdown. Oh crap! I was really hoping it was going to play the whole clip, but they just looked on frickin' point, left and right. So I don't know. You can tell me what your favorite touchdown was. Was it the Jamo Williams one where he's wide open? Was it the running game? Was it the David Montgomery? Was it one of four Amon Raz? Was it the fact that Goff looked like a G? The defense looked great. I guess the only critique I could say is I'd like to see a little bit more of Hutch come out earlier is from the stat sheet, but I don't know. That defense doesn't have me worried one bit. I'm really excited for the next game, actually. So, from a post game reaction, that's pretty much all I got. Kick it over to my co host, who is non existent right now, Jason, who left me to go play basketball. Jerry, I don't know if you got a chance to see Jason on here, but he gave me his little 5 minute opinion of what he thinks it was. You got to see him. A little belt to ass comment. But the doc brings up a good point. I'm already on the next week now. I'm going to be happy about that win, but I think at this point, I'm already game planning for the next game. I'm ready. What do you guys think? We got. Let's see. Trying to see if there's been any big update score changes. This is Monday Night Football game, obviously. Well, looks like the scores are pretty much the same. So we got the Ravens. This one's big. This one's really big. Maybe if I was a Lions fan, I could have said I'll wait for after the Ravens to get excited, but not like this guy who says I'll wait for after the bye week and I'll let you know. Like, oh yeah, if halfway through the season they're a decent team, I'll tell you that I think I like them. But if not, I'll criticize the shit out of them. So clearly has commitment issues. I'm real excited going in to play Baltimore after this, right? After what we saw on the field, if they want to keep this up from an offensive standpoint, that would be a great thing because we know Baltimore. We know Baltimore is a nasty, scary team, but we also know you can put 48 up on Baltimore and beat them. We know that in the last 4 minutes of the game, if you're a good team like the Bills are, you can do that. Baltimore has flaws. Their main strength is their high-powered offense. But now that we saw our defense operate at another league and another speed, this could be really good, right? This could be a really good opportunity for us to figure out a way to harness Lamar because he's back-to-back with 40 points, right? So this is one of those games where we're going to have to score 40, and we're going to have to make sure they don't. And I know that sounds pretty simple and basic, but when they're back-to-back 40-pointers on a Monday night game, I mean, they're coming in from a real gimme team. Like, I'll give the Bears credit. They have a lot more riding in the positive side for them than Cleveland. Cleveland's trash, right? But, better than, not as good as the Bears. Can they have Jerry Jeudy? And it's a shame, too, because Cleveland's defense is pretty good as far as who they have on their team. And quarterback. See, Myles Garrett, look at you. Sack and a half, paying you all that money. But, yeah, long story short, that's going to be a real eye test. If we can beat down Baltimore, hang with them, I could see us, that's a 48-41 type game. Or, we just keep them under 40, right? Maybe that's the name of the game. It's just like playing Buffalo, right? Same thing when you play Buffalo. Just keep them under 40. If you can keep them under 40, I think you have a good chance to beat them because those are two teams that you're not just going to shut down. You're not shutting the Bills down, and you're not shutting the Ravens down. You're just not. I don't care who you are. Yeah, and Aaron Glenn, I'm sorry, buddy, but New York Jets, you're 0-2. I mean, you didn't have a chance against the Bills, but you probably don't have a chance in New York as a coach. And I like you a lot. Oh, frick. I bet you Mike Levati's teaching a spin class right now. Anyone, if you know where he's at, you guys should call a bomb threat into a spin class. Hopefully that doesn't get me banned on YouTube. Sorry, calling a BT. Oh. All right, so Cliff Levati is clearly eating some good stuff. Lions are just knocking off some cobwebs. Let's go, Leo. Uh, let's see. Ego eating commies. Fuck Michael, he's in Delaware with Hitch. Yeah, this is great stuff. I love Cliff. An angry brother you got there, Michael. It's a shame that you guys just can't get along. Um, this is the team, guys, that I thought Ben Johnson should have saved his coaching staff for is Miami because Miami's about to be 0 or Miami is 0 2, and Mike McDaniels is going to get fired, and they're going to burn that whole thing to the ground. I think that Ben Johnson should have just stuck around for one more year and took this Miami job. Let's see the stat line on Tua. Drake May, 19 of 23 with 2 touchdowns. Pretty respectful, if you ask me. Tua Tagovailoa, 26 of 32 for 2 touchdowns and an interception. Still had some good numbers, but yeah, Miami, dude, you're trash. You're 0-2. I don't see you guys sticking around. And I kind of called that and knew that for a while, and didn't we know? I mean, when you're creating headlines for paying a wide receiver to be the biggest, highest paid wide receiver and pulling him away from his old team who doesn't want to pay him, you're just setting yourself up, dude. Tyreek knows if he's done in there. I mean, that's a pretty good week too, boys and girls. I gotta thank you all for subscribing. I gotta thank you all for hopping on. Can't believe it's already week 2 and we're moving on to week 3 and we're about to be on Monday night, which is going to be cool. It's going to make for a long weekend of no Lions football, but then Monday night, man, whoo boy, that is going to be a fun pregame show. It's a shame Tennessee can't get a win. We already know they're not going to make the playoffs, but I want to see them get their first win. Cam Ward, I'm really rooting for him. He was 19 of 33 with a touchdown. Matty Stafford, still putting up GOAT numbers. It's unreal. All right, boys and girls. Well, we've had a great week too. We beat some Bears butt. Thank you guys for hopping on. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate all the help. The Levati family was a big part of it. Special thanks to Mike and Cliff and everybody out there, and the Weasel for joining as my special guest for about 5 minutes. With that being said, subscribe, like, buy the shit. Go Lions.